they consume the light quite all right. Why wouldn't they pay? Nobody's above the law, as we normally say. They use the NEPA, they use the electricity. Why wouldn't they pay? They should pay. They should pay because they need the light and they use it. They should pay. Nobody's above the law. If they cut off their electricity, then let them go on the meter. By that time, it will be difficult for them. Once they don't pay, they don't get the light. They should be able to pay because they need it and they have used it and they have the capacity to pay. And nobody's above the law in this country. They should pay. They should be able to pay. They must pay. In fact, let them pay. It's not their better and it's not their property. They don't own electricity. Everybody, villa, even president, villa, whole villa, if president of the country can pay, a villa can pay electricity. Who are the armies? Why wouldn't they pay? They should pay. They will pay.
Not only armies, even other government parastatals are not paying NEPA bills. It is because it's government to government. For example, if I'm owing NEPA bill, you will see the NEPA bill will come to my house. Most cases, they will come with task force, police will be there, or many other forces will be there, and I will be compelled to pay. And if it is in barrack, they know they can't go to the barrack. And if you can't go to the barrack, there's no way the soldier man will just come and say, take NEPA bill. It's not possible. Because Nigeria, we are all Nigerians. Some things we need to be pushing ourselves until we do the right thing. So in my own observation, if supplying the meters is the only way they can be collecting the NEPA bill, I think let them do it. You understand? Like me, I bought my meter. I bought my two-phase, I think it's one phase, 60-something thousand. But then initially, that meter were given for free by the World Bank. So if they think that giving army the NEPA, the meter will enable them to pay, so be it. Because I believe that everybody should pay the NEPA bill. You understand? Not selected people. And to me, like I said before, and I want to say it again, the reason why they are not paying the army or the other government parastatals, just like you have said, how the Minister of Light coming, Minister of Power saying some series of things, it is because it's government to government. And of course, if I stand to be corrected, there is a particular tariff that government is paying. They call it subsidy. I heard the minister saying that they want to remove that. Of course, it is the government that is paying the subsidy. So if government is paying the subsidy, how will you hold the soldiers to pay? Except you go through meter. That is the only alternative way if you want to get your NEPA bill paid. Go through meter, because once your meter is reading, you have to pay for it. And of course, if you are not paying, the lights will go off automatically. So the best way is to make sure that they supply the meter for all government parastatals so that everybody should pay their bill. As you're asking me now, me too, I like asking questions. Why is it that I used to go to Niger? Why is it that we are the ones supplying Niger light and we don't have light? So what is the government doing about that? Because like in my area I'm paying, you see some people, before I was compelled to go and get my meter, I paid 22,000 in 2-bedroom flat. And I'm having only a freezer, 2 fans, and my television. My AC I cannot use it because I'm using meter. Okay, so what is the problem with Nigeria power supply? As far as I'm concerned, I've visited some other countries. No country that they will just wake up and take light without information. And in Nigeria, they will just wake up and take light without prior notice. So what is the problem? And how can the masses and every other person can help? Because we need light. The only thing that you can give to your society is to give steady power supply. As they are asking us the opinion, if to supply meter will enable them collect their NEPA bill, we are also putting question to them. What can the masses do so that we have steady supply light in Nigeria?
The whole thing about paying of bills boils down to responsibility of Nigerians. It has to do with patriotism. We are used to not paying bills, which is totally wrong. It is quite irresponsible on our own part. So many reasons can be stated for why people feel they will boycott these essential services that are provided for the citizens. You know the issue of epileptic supply of electricity. We know that the government is trying its best to provide power to all Nigerians, but then it shouldn't be an excuse. We should live up to our responsibilities as Nigerians. Secondly, you also agree with me that these institutions that are managing these essential commodities are not sincere on their own part too. There's a lot of corruption, cutting of corners and all that. With respect to the military or any other arm of government, I think the metering thing is the best thing to do. It is pay as you go. And that's why you have this metering, you have this prepaid thing. Now it simply means if you cannot purchase what you want to use, then you will not have anything to use. Before now I said nobody is above the law. These things are meant for Nigerians. So we should have that culture of respecting every other institution. And you cannot carry out an act of this sort you've mentioned without the collaboration of the organization, the institution that is saddled with the responsibility of providing such service. In this instance, we are talking about the power holding companies. If the officers of that company do not or refuse to connive with the officers, then it will be impossible for them to cut corners, connect light illegally. But then we have to purge ourselves of this irresponsible behavior. I have stressed this over and over. As a nation, we have to, once you are a patriotic Nigerian, you will now know that you have to pay your own bills so that this nation can move. We cannot continue to wallow in this kind of hopelessness and unseriousness and irresponsibility. That's one. And then secondly, nobody is above the law. Whether you be a military officer, a police officer, the rule of law presupposes that you obey the law as a responsible citizen and you do things rightly for the growth and development of our nation, for the corporate existence of each and every other citizen in this country.
Because they feel that they are military. Maybe NEPA officials are not permitted to enter their premises to go and maybe check for their bill or ask for payment of bills. Then with the present situation that the Federal Minister of Power said that it's going to distribute a prepaid across the board, all barracks, wherever. By the time, it's very right. If they put prepaid, if it's connected to the prepaid, if your credit is over, automatically your light will go off. And if light go off without recharging, you cannot get light. Unless if they will go behind and maybe boycott and connect illegal connection by not using the prepaid. And if such is discovered, law is there. However, because nobody is against the law, if you go against the law, you will be at least prosecuted and deal with you according to the law.